What's up, Junkies? Welcome to Culture Junkies Live, the weekly video podcast devoted to geek culture. I'm Kenshiro, and I got my boys, the Great Adakuji and Super Nerd Plus with me. What's up, fellas?
Hey!
What it is, people of the internet.
So, hey, dudes, you guys see anything good this weekend?
I saw something pretty good. It was called Sonic Mania. No, I bet you're talking about the Defenders, aren't you?
Well, maybe. maybe.
Boy.
Yeah, did you see
I got
it?
my loot crate.
Oh, you got your loot crate. Nice.
Well, I don't physically have it, but I did get it in the mail.
Okay.
And, it's at my girlfriend's house, so.
Shit.
Yeah.
It's always where you can't readily get to it. I know the feeling.
She holding my shit ransom.
I know, right? So anyway, dudes, honestly, I got some. I finally got off my ass, and I've actually framed some artwork that I got. I got this signed copy of the Trinity, done by Jason Fabok, that I got from Motor City this past May, and also got this Broly poster. That's a lithograph. I know you guys can't see it, but everybody out there can. It's pretty dope. I got it framed. I'm gonna put it somewhere behind me. I don't know exactly where I'm gonna put it, but it's going up. It's gonna be pretty sweet. Can't wait to see
that Broly. You sure it's not Kale?
Yeah, it's Broly. I know it's Broly.
Oh yeah, because it definitely. It changes. It changes to Broly with the
Super Saiyan. Yep. It does.
It's pretty cool. Pretty cool.
Yeah, it is. So anyway, let's get to the news of the nation. The news of the nation this week. Out today is Uncharted: The Lost Legacy. That's really the only gaming thing I know of note that kind of came out this week. You guys interested in Uncharted? Well, no, it's not. Whatever.
Dude, Tomb Raider.
Whatever you want to say, man. Whatever you want to say.
So when you see a commercial for a video game,
mm-hmm.
and you hear somebody talking a woman to be exact, talking British with guns, what's the first thing that comes to your mind?
I mean,
sure.
You're
probably gonna think Tomb Raider.
Well, yeah, sure, Tomb Raider.
It doesn't really play. Like, I haven't played all the Uncharted games. I did play the first one. And I tremendously like the first one. And I need to play the rest of them because I do own the rest of them except for the newest one that came out. And it doesn't play like Tomb Raider at all. I mean, it is an action adventure game. You got your shooting in it. I haven't played the newer Tomb Raiders, except for I got one of those as well. But the older Tomb Raiders are a lot different. I mean, maybe it's like Tomb Raider. Who knows? I don't care.
Yeah, but I mean, but that was pretty interesting. I thought, it came out today. But beyond that coming out today, we also have for those that, like, maybe for GQ, if he was here, I could be able to tell him that Daredevil season 2 and Jessica Jones season 1 came out on DVD today, along with.
You can finally watch it.
Yeah, you can finally watch it. I know, right? And along with Lucifer season 1. And Supergirl season 2. Yeah, and Supergirl season 2. And this will be interesting, of course, to you, I think. Actually, both of you, I think. Ash versus the Evil Dead season 2 came out today.
Ooh,
Any of those, you guys want to pick up?
Of course, Ash versus the Evil Dead, because I'm a huge Evil Dead fan. Yeah, that's something. Because I haven't even seen all of the first season and second season, so I need to catch up on that.
I started watching it, and then I lost my Stars. I believe it's on. I don't have Stars anymore.
It's on Stars.
And so I didn't finish watching the first season. But what I did see of it, I really liked it. And Bruce Campbell is really what makes Evil Dead, and that's why that remake didn't work.
Yeah.
I like the remake.
No. Okay, let me back up. The remake wasn't bad. It just didn't feel like Evil Dead because
no, it didn't.
Bruce
it was
Campbell,
it was straight gore porn.
Yeah.
That's what it was.
Right.
You liked that, didn't you?
Yeah, gore porn. That was pretty funny.
I'm here all night.
Yeah.
I'm here all night.
Don't quit your day job. Don't quit your day job. But anyway, one of the other things that's going on actually right now is Gamescom. Gamescom started this weekend, and one of the things that's out is or going to be coming out is Dragon Ball Fighters, and some of the footage that has been displayed as of today at Gamescom. I saw some footage. They announced that Android 18 is definitely going to be in there, but she's going to be kind of sharing a character slot with 17. Like, he'll come out like as combos. We also got Krillin and we got Piccolo as well. being on there. But the beta sign up has actually started today as well for PS4 and Xbox One. You guys want to get on it?
Use Krillin. We're gonna use Krillin. Let's be
A lot of people
honest.
might use. You know,
the whole game
I would
is
love to
damn.
know. I would love to know who would use Krillin. You know, you got a good point.
Krillin's like Mason Bad Boys. He just, you know, he's there. Oh, he was there, and then he kind of just gone and just pushed it aside. But you know his legacy, what he did.
I mean,
Not really much.
I mean, come on, don't be like that, man. I mean, come on.
You gonna pick Piccolo? I mean, come on, Piccolo over Krillin?
No. I mean, you can. I mean, he might end up being like a Dan type. Dan type meaning that you know, Dan would be like a joke character or something like that people actually might be really interested in.
That'd be Yamcha
in
though.
seeing, or
Yamcha or
you
Mr.
know,
Satan.
Oh,
yeah,
Mr.
Yamcha,
Satan
Mr.
even
Satan,
more
yeah.
so.
Yeah. You know, you bring up a good point. Yeah, maybe Yamcha or Mr. Satan. Sure. I can see that happening. But
I want to pick Mr. Popo.
yo, man, a lot of people,
I'm
you know,
Mr.
clown on
Popo.
Mr. Popo, man.
I'm Mr. Popo.
At one point, Mr. Popo was a
man.
bad dude. At one point, Mr. Popo was a bad dude, though. Man, don't be like that.
Does he got a back history we need to know about?
I don't know.
You know how you guys made him
Not
blue?
that I know of.
They made him fucking blue because he was black with big ass red lips.
Right.
So they had to change him to blue. So black people will be like, "What the hell you guys doing?"
Well, they also showed some footage of Star Wars Battlefront 2, some of the some Starfighter Squadron stuff that I love, that I actually really love playing in the first Battlefront. So I'm looking forward to seeing that as well. But a game that really piqued my interest that I wasn't really like into like at first, and a lot of people really are, is Monster Hunter World, man. Monster Hunter World looks really dope. I am not going to front. It looks really good.
Into that.
Yeah.
Waffles is big time into that.
Him and his cousin Justin was like into that game.
A lot of people really like this game. I mean, and the footage that we're showing right now is from is courtesy of IGN in their live stream. But I think that Monster Hunter World I might have to get into this, man, because it looks like it might be MMO style now, and you just run around.
Very Fantasy Star-esque.
Yeah.
Ooh, Fantasy Star.
Yeah, I mean, if there's a game that needs to come back, it's Fantasy Star, that's for sure. But no, dude. I mean, this looks really interesting. Dido, what can you tell us about Monster Hunter and why it's been so popular? It's been one of Capcom's most popular series.
It's extremely popular because exactly what the title says. You're going around, you're hunting monsters, and you do it with your friends. And what can be better than going around with a group of people to take down a T-Rex or some kind of mythical, you know, monster or whatnot, you know, something like that, where you get your level up, you get your weapons, you get your stuff, you go out there and try to just, you know, I guess you could say seek and destroy. How can that not be fun? I mean, you know, I'm not too sure how big the groups are. They're probably, you know, the older ones, I think you could probably only do like groups of 4 or whatnot. But regardless of the fact, you know, just like, even though Monster Hunter and Fantasy Star Online, which is probably the only, and if you want to call it an MMO, I really played, you know, just being able to sit down and not it's not so heavy like the PC ones. PC ones are so heavy with it, the point where you got people out there making money, just freaking, you know, mining and getting weapons and selling.
Like real money? Like real money?
Yeah, like real friggin' money. You can go out there and you can have a job if you're good at playing video games, where you go out and get the best weapons and mine gold for people and sell it to people who are too lazy to fucking do it themselves. But Monster Hunter's not like that. I mean, you're going out there and it's kind of like, you know, hey, let me see if we can tackle this T-Rex, tackle this freaking mythical what do you call it, turtle or some bullshit, I don't know. But
it's Pokemon.
It's one of the things that kept the PSP and the PS got the hiccups, and the Vita, you know, relevant specifically in Japan, because and also the Wii U, I believe it also came. Our buddy Sev, from my understanding,
wasn't on the Wii as well,
because of the Monster Hunter.
But I thought it was the Wii. I thought it was the Wii, not the Wii U.
I think the newer one came out on the Wii U. I'm not 100% sure. I don't.
I think it did. I think it did.
It might have came out of the Wii. Wii has the worst internet like hookup stuff on. and seriously, you can't just find anybody with their screen name. You got to have some kind of stupid 12-digit or 10 I forget, like telephone number to find people, and it's dumb. So I could have sworn it was the Wii U. I do know they came out with a Monster Hunter for the Wii U, and I believe our boy Sev bought a Wii U because of Monster Hunter. If I, don't quote me on it, but I remember hearing that he got one because of Monster Hunter.
Well, it looks like, that looks like a game I'm really going to be looking forward to playing, and I'm going to have to, I'm definitely not going to do a pre-order for it. But hey, speaking of pre-orders or maybe pre-development, something that's very kind of close to your heart, Dido, is Shenmue 3, and they kind of showed like an early beta test of that. A lot of people are complaining. Some people are complaining about some of the character models, and they don't look very good. I don't have it up on the screen, so I can't show it to you guys. But talk a little bit about Shenmue 3 and what it means for this game to be kind of finally closer to being real.
Look, as soon as I saw that video of Shenmue, I think it was a year or two ago for the Kickstarter, I said, I'm there. Because I played through. I was a big, as some people know who know the great Adakuji, I was a big advocate for the Dreamcast. I said this was Sega's redemption. It was going to come back. Apparently I was wrong, but at the same time, people who hold that system in high regard probably agree with me, because it is a marvelous system that was just trounced by the PlayStation 2 and its DVD compatibility. If the Dreamcast had DVD, it probably would have done a lot better, but regardless of that. Shenmue, I thought, was an amazing
classic
game. It's a game that was the closest thing to an RPG without the mystical elements, without the leveling up. You still learn new moves and you did stuff. But when Shenmue 2 came out, they canceled the Dreamcast version in the US. I managed to get myself a PAL version of it. This is amazing. I also have myself an Xbox One version of it. And when you get to the end of Shenmue 2, it was a cliffhanger. Now, I don't know how many guys out there know that play video games that have a cliffhanger ending. Movies have cliffhangers. TV shows have cliffhangers, and something might get canceled, and you never see what's going to happen. I never expected that for a video game, and they did it with Shenmue 2, and boy, was I disappointed. And 16 years later, we finally get a chance to play Shenmue 3, or we hear about Shenmue 3, of course, because I want to know what's going to happen.
Right.
Now, you got all these, I don't want to call them idiots out there. It's like, this is a PlayStation 4 game, and it looks like ass. It looks like the Dreamcast version with way better graphics.
Right.
Yes, it doesn't look as good as Uncharted. Could it look as good as Uncharted? Yes, but we're not going to see Shenmue look as good as Uncharted with the resources that they have. They had to kickstart the game because apparently no major publisher and no major developer. You got Yu Suzuki, who no longer works for Sega, trying to finish this masterpiece. So, yes, the game does not look like Uncharted. It doesn't look like what a God of War will. It doesn't look like those games. Who cares? I'm not playing Shenmue for the graphics. I'm playing Shenmue because they left me on a freaking cliffhanger, and I want to know what happened. And if I have to play the game with people who have plastic-looking faces that don't emote, I don't care. I want to see what the hell happened. So if they put out a game that satisfies the gameplay, if it has gameplay that is as good as Shenmue 1 and 2, and it freaking finishes that story, then we're great. I don't want to hear complaints from these freaking so-called gamers out there. Most of them didn't even live through the 80s or the 90s. They were freaking babies, and they started playing video games with the PlayStation 2 and the PlayStation 3. I don't want to hear that shit. I want to freaking play this game and experience and see what happened to Ryo Hazuki and him trying to get revenge for the man that killed his father.
Trying to see that Lelu Law.
Lalo. Well, I think my man is kind of passionate about this kind of thing, huh?
I am extremely passionate. Yes. Come on. You guys go, this game looks shitty. Shut up and play the game. If you had any interest in the game. Now, our buddy Muhammad of
Ready Player One.
Ready Player One meant he said in the thread that we have on the Culture Junkies Facebook that Sega would make a killing with a updated version of Shenmue 1 and 2 for, Xbox One or PlayStation 4 or what have you. Yeah. And they would, because it'd give some people an opportunity to play through one of the best stories for a freaking, even though, and I have to say, looking for those sailors and Shenmue 1 was kind of ridiculous, going around asking people, have you seen any sailors? It just kind of seemed kind of weird. but
just a little bit.
Outside of that, the game was just really, it was it was done real well, and I'm just happy that I'm going to get some kind of closure for this series because nobody thought it was going to happen. I didn't think it was going to happen, and it's happening, so I'm happy.
Okay. All right. Well,
we all hate the forklift race. Let's be honest.
Oh yeah, those forklift.
Oh, dude, that forklift race was ridiculous. Forklift race was ridiculous. But anyway, guys, hey, so we got some actual somewhat breaking news for you all. And the breaking news is that Warner Brothers is at it again. They are going to develop a Joker origin movie.
No.
Yeah, Joker origin movie. Now here's the kicker though, right? The kicker is that Jared Leto is not being asked to return as the Joker. They're going to go in somewhat of a I don't know, a new direction or some kind of I have no idea what they're doing. No idea.
I don't think they need to do that.
Oh, you read my mind. Is this something that we need? Is this something that we want? Because here's my problem with it. The only problem I really have with this, right, is that they're going once again to the Batman well. They need to go outside of the Batman well. I'm sorry. Yes, the Joker is popular. Yes, the Joker is great. But we've seen enough of him. We've seen enough of Batman, honestly. That's just me. They need to develop someone other than these characters that are tied to the Bat. It just needs to happen. So, Philip, Super Nerd, what do you think about this, man?
It's already a dumb thing that they're doing already. Come on, like get your other properties done correctly before you start doing a solo movie from a villain. Same thing with Fox trying to do Doctor Doom. Like, why? We don't need a villain solo film. Who they're gonna fight? Minus the characters that's the heroes. I mean, I don't. Doesn't make any sense. Like, you wasting your money, and you're gonna feel like idiots when you spend all this money on a movie that's gonna flop, and then you gotta go back. Oh, you're right. It was a dumbass idea.
Yeah.
Okay, so why would you continuously go forward with it? Like you said, pick up other properties and grow them. Let them grow and let them shine to be superstars. Because, like I said, the Justice League cartoons and Justice League Unlimited, I should say, all those superheroes that was on there, I start to like them because they developed them well, and you know who they are. They just put everything from Batman and let him run with all his rogues gallery and his characters. It's like, I want to see other people. Let them shine. I mean, of course, they got the TV shows, but to me, it's like, you got to dedicate somebody you know that's going to shine. Like I said, Iron Man was a low-rate character, and they built this guy up to be a superstar.
Right.
Do that. So what's still what Marvel's doing? Just do something great, because you're not putting anything great out.
Right.
At all.
Right. No, I can understand that. And Tony Minner is over on Twitch. He's watching, and he's saying, work on a better DC movies with the heroes. And
yep.
You know, I mean, I can't argue with that. Obviously, that's something that they really, really, really need to do. Stop focusing on all this other stuff and kind of just stick to develop. Anyway, so moving right along, on to the next thing that I kind of wanted to get into that we're going to spend a little more time on is we're going to talk about the Star Wars spinoffs. And the Star Wars spinoffs kind of came out late last week as an announcement that they were going to do that they were trying to do as spinoffs to Obi-Wan Kenobi. That's the number one main one. That's like really being developed as the next spinoff movie or story similar to the Han Solo one is Obi-Wan Kenobi. I'm excited for that one. The other ones announced were Yoda, Boba Fett, and Jabba the Hutt.
Okay. All right. Okay.
I got some for that too.
First thing,
go ahead.
Is as much as I like Obi-Wan as a character, I don't understand how they're gonna do it. I don't see how they're gonna do a Obi-Wan Kenobi movie because he's on Tatooine the whole and friggin' entire time watching over Luke. So he can't leave. So what's the movie gonna be about? Unless the movie's gonna be about during the Clone Wars as a young Obi-Wan, or I mean, seriously, you saw him take Luke as a baby and he goes to Tatooine. There is no in between where he can get to an adventure unless he drops the baby off and then he leaves and then he goes into some adventure and something causes him to come back, which could make sense. But Jabba the Hutt?
Yeah, Jabba the Hutt. I don't get that one.
Here's the thing on that. And with Star Wars, I think you can do spinoffs and do it well because it's a massive universe. You can do whatever. You can pull
And
any
I
story
agree.
you want. So Jabba the Hutt may be cool as shit. Maybe he was human before he became a puddle of shit. I don't know.
No,
We don't
it's
know.
not
We
Hutt.
don't,
He was a human character before they changed him
I
to a
know.
gigantic
I know.
slug.
I know I was being funny about that. But I'm saying like it could be interesting to see Jabba Hutt. I mean, we won't say much, but well, who knows? Who knows what can happen? The possibilities could be, and he could be a likable character. Shit, who knows? Who knows what Jabba Hutt could be when he have his own solo movie? They can write him so well. I mean, you won't say much, but they can write him so well that it could be a fan favorite for all the fuck we know.
Are you being serious right now?
What I forget the name of the character. I think it was Zolo. It might have been Zolo the Hutt, and then
Zola the Hutt.
granted Zolo.
Yeah.
It was Zolo.
No, it was Zola the Hutt. Yeah, and
Yeah, the one that was in Clone Wars.
Yep, in Clone Wars.
That's a way more interesting character. You know, the freaking Hutt Capote, because he talked just like freaking Capote, but
no, I just don't. Sorry, I don't see any possibility for this to be any kind of a good movie. Now
they don't need to do it. Like
yeah,
Yoda, Obi-Wan. I don't.
Lando.
A Yoda one.
No, that's coming out next year, and that's not Lando. That's freaking Han Solo. But
it's
Lando's
Han Solo.
Gonna be in it.
Lando's going to be in it. Yeah. But here's the thing. I think a Yoda movie could be very interesting because everybody's been wondering, what is he? What was he like when he was younger? All that kind of stuff. I think the movie they're going to do is with him being younger, which I would be really interested to see. Like, how long has Yoda been alive? Like, really, how?
It said over 800 years, so they got a lot to play with Yoda.
Yeah. So 900 years. He said. Yeah, 900 years.
Zero.
Yeah. So anyway, Zero the Hutt. But anyway, Boba Fett is another one that people have been clamoring for. I've never been. I mean, that's just me. Maybe I've never been that big of a. Had that big of an attraction to Boba Fett. It's just
Boba the Fett.
Yeah,
Bubble the Fett.
I don't know. Boba Fett just to me doesn't seem like as an interesting enough character. I mean, yeah, to be the baddest bounty hunter in the galaxy and stuff like that, but I mean, it would just
They're
be
gonna
like
make stuff up with him.
I don't know.
It makes Boba Fett with show enough.
Yeah, they're gonna
the baddest
because they can. Because Return of the Jedi, Boba Fett was, Boba Fett, where he got eaten by Sarlacc.
By the Sarlacc, yeah.
By accident, he was a joke character that people just thought he was cool for whatever reason. So they're gonna make him cool. They're gonna freaking probably make him like Jango Fett plus, Jango Fett plus. Super Nerd plus Jango Fett plus.
Okay. But, here's something that our friend the Hand of Omega is saying over on YouTube. He's saying that it's interesting because it dwells into the underworld of Star Wars, but in a way, Rogue One did that and nobody cared because it was
nobody cared about those characters.
Yeah, exactly. But it's not going to be much different for a Boba Fett movie or a Jabba the Hutt movie. I don't think anyone's really going to care that much to say, hey, I'm going to pay $15 to pay to go see this in the movie theater. It's Boba Fett and Jabba the Hutt, dude. I mean,
well, it's Star Wars, so everybody that is a Star Wars fan is gonna.
I think that's what they're banking on. They're banking on because it's a Star Wars property, and people can go out because of the sake of Star Wars. You could be right and you could be wrong at the same time because not everything Star Wars glitters and gold. Phantom Menace is probably the one of examples.
Phantom Menace still made a bunch of money.
Oh, I'm sure it did, but who really gives a shit about that movie?
Yeah, I mean, Yoda could be the most interesting one.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, most definitely because they got a lot that they can work with.
Yeah,
like Obi-Wan, I just don't see what they can work with the old Obi-Wan unless he leaves the planet, and he can't.
Which he could.
Trying to rescue freaking a kidnapped Luke because Luke doesn't know anything about any of that stuff.
Yeah,
he just barely heard of old Ben Kenobi. He didn't know old Ben Kenobi at all. So it'd have to be Han Solo. Obi-Wan either being off planet during the Clone Wars, or just they got to make something up when he's leaving Tatooine for whatever reason, or he's on Tatooine whatever reason, have to deal with the Hutts or something. I don't know. It just
Actually, I want to see the Han Solo. I want to see what that's going to be about because that's
I
what
wanna
I'm
see
really
that too.
interested in.
Yeah,
You
Han
know,
Solo, I'm
so
really
that's-
interested in for numerous reasons. Like, are they going to show him becoming indebted, or Chewie becoming indebted with a life debt with him? Are they going to show like how he won the Millennium Falcon? Like, are they going to show him on Corellia before he joined the Imperial Army and broke away?
And Greedo.
You know, and Greedo, yeah, Greedo's got to be in there somewhere.
Greedo's got to be in there, dude.
Greedo's got to be in there somewhere. That would be funny. That would be is just have this pesky Rhodian that, like, it'd be funny if him and Greedo were actually really good friends at first. Like, he's a Rhodian and he was like his best friend. Yeah, that would be funny as hell. Yeah, that would be funny. That would be really funny. That would be really funny. Who shot first? Right. Yeah. So, I think that would be funny. I think those would be pretty interesting. For the most part, like we said, Yoda, good. Obi-Wan, probably, maybe. Boba Fett, Jabba the Hutt. You know,
Boba Fett's they're gonna make that into an action. I bet that the way they're gonna try to go is Western style, bounty hunter style, space opera where you got
Blade Runner
being like Clint Eastwood.
Okay, but is he a guy that, you know, because he lacks, all he has is a mystique, in my opinion.
They're gonna create it. That's an opportunity for you to create all that stuff.
Absolutely.
Same thing with Yoda, because like if you watch Clone Wars, you see a slightly older Boba Fett in a couple of episodes, and he had like a group of people he was with that were, you know, doing whatever the hell they were doing. I forget exactly. They were robbing a train, I think it was. I forget exactly, but they got a lot to go off on with Boba Fett. Seriously.
Absolutely.
Okay. Well, absolutely. I guess so. So anyway, guys, we're going to go ahead and Hand of Omega says, "Is Dido still watching the eclipse or something?" Because he's got
boiled my eyeballs.
Yeah, the eclipse yesterday was actually pretty cool.
I forgot.
Yeah, you forgot. What, were you working or something?
I was at Starbucks doing some work on my computer.
Oh.
Yeah, I had to get away from all technology. I was getting away from all technology. I was doing some Photoshop stuff and had to get focused.
Okay.
And yeah,
all right.
I'm trying to get this Throwback Phantom Thursday going.
Oh, awesome.
In the top 5, so
right.
I might be at Starbucks a few times.
All right, cool. So, obviously, like I alluded to earlier this weekend, The Defenders came out.
Woo!
The Defenders is obviously the 8-episode culmination of all 4 Netflix Marvel series: Daredevil, Jessica Jones, Luke Cage, and Iron Fist. It's met with, I guess you could say, mixed reviews. The early reviews were really bad. The later reviews, I guess, when it got closer to being released, magically all of a sudden it was certified fresh on Rotten Tomatoes, which, you know, that isn't, you know, a barometer for anybody really to go by. You should always go by your own review system or anything. But Hand of Omega brings up a good point. How do you get away from technology by photoshopping, my friend? That's a very good.
I'm talking about like TVs and video games and stuff like that.
Yeah. Okay. So
because I would have got distracted and started playing some video games or something like that.
All right. So anyway, The Defenders. What do we think of The Defenders?
I loved it. I mean, of course, it has its flaws. Like anything, it has its flaws. But I really enjoyed it. Long time coming, and it put it where it's told a story where it needed to be told, and I thank them for that. I enjoyed it very thoroughly.
Oh, you know, we got a new viewer over there on Facebook, Manuel Morales Torres. He says the only review that counts is his own, and he loved The Defenders. That's great.
Absolutely.
That's great. Dido, did you get to see The Defenders?
I watched all of it, and just like my buddy over there, Super Nerd the Plus, I enjoyed it. I still did not really like Iron Fist because he's a whiny bitch. I need more Iron Fist. Why couldn't they make him like how he is in every other iteration that I've ever seen? I have no idea, but I think they did a very good job with it. One thing that I was watching on the YouTubes today that, now that I think about it, I never really thought about this before, but it's a Netflix dilemma, Netflix problem, And the things that with Iron Fist and or the Defenders or almost any Netflix show could be avoided is the problem is because Netflix puts everything out at once, right? So if people are watching episodes and they start to see something that they don't like, there's nothing they can do about it. Whereas anything that's on television, they go through breaks. And if they start hearing fans not liking certain things, they can freaking make those changes. But
so wait,
some of it was heard.
Are you trying to? Is this person trying to advocate for Netflix to basically go against their business model and like be more like a studio?
I don't think they're saying that. I don't want that to happen.
No.
But that's why I call it the Netflix dilemma, because if you put everything out there, and if there's stuff that could have been fixed, like in a normal television show, they can't do it because by the time anybody complains about anything, it's too late. It's over. But regardless of that, I think because of Iron Fist, they didn't fix Finn. What was his name? Finn Jones.
Yeah.
They didn't fix his character.
Okay.
They didn't fix it, but they made it work. Specifically when it came for Iron Fist and Luke Cage, because anybody that reads comics, unfortunately, I don't really read them. Never read a Luke Cage and Iron Fist comic book, but from my understanding, they're partners. I'm sorry, I haven't. I don't read comic books.
No shame in it. No shame in it. Ain't no shame in it. Go ahead. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I want to read them, but I told you my thing. I just can't. I got to start from the beginning, or somebody give me a beginning to start with, and I'll read them. But regardless of that, they have chemistry. They work together. They're heroes for hire, and they're a team. And you could kind of see that in the Defenders because they had chemistry. They did.
And
is that going to happen with future TV shows?
I think we don't know. I think if the audience cry enough for it, it will happen. And like you said. The scene where they was in the restaurant, that was Luke Cage and Iron Fist. I said, damn it, that's them. That is
the scene with them two alone, right? The scene with just the two of them together.
Yeah, that's how he is. That's the Danny I know. Just that funny, funny guy, crack jokes here and there, but still on his kung fu shit. That's
on his A game.
Now that we wait, hold up, let me bring this up. Now that we talked about. Now we're talking about Iron Fist. Fallen Marvel brings up, he says he would dare to say that the Defenders proves that Iron Fist was not Finn Jones's fault because of the way Iron Fist was portrayed in the Defenders. Would you agree with that? Would you say the reason Iron Fist failed is because
it's in the writing? It's not his fault. It's in the writing. You can't blame him. He's just the actor.
It's not Finn Jones' fault.
It's not his fault. It's the writing, and the staff, for whatever reason, decided to make him this character who's been hurt and betrayed and stuff. That's on the writing. You can't blame the actor. The actor is being told by the director how you're supposed to feel and how. That's what the actor's job is.
I get that.
So you can't blame Finn for anything.
And to top that, and they still didn't really change a lot of that whiny shit because, you saw those who saw the Defenders. I'm gonna try to say this without spoiling it for those who haven't seen it, but he gets to a point where they're trying to say, "Hey, we know that the Hand is looking for you, so let's lay low and find out why and what's going on." And he was trying to he was doing what Danny Rand did in the friggin' Iron Fist by not listening to anybody. Going around telling everybody he's the immortal Iron Fist, and then getting his ass kicked.
Right, and they called him out. Anthony Mentor was right. They called him out on it. They did. Luke Cage told him to calm the fuck down, basically.
Yeah, he did.
They told him to chill out, and which I think the writers knew from the Iron Fist. He needed somebody to say chill the fuck out, basically.
Yeah, he needed someone to calm him down. Yeah.
So I think season 2, I think he's gonna get more into his role as Danny Rand because they know. They fucked up basically, and they kept doing this. So I think he will be the Danny Rand that we all hope and know from the comics in the second season of his show.
I can see some aspects of that because the reason why I say that is because, like you said, I think there were a couple of influences at play. I mean, let's not forget Danny for all the flaws we want to give him, the way he's been characterized in Marvel series so far. He's pretty much a fish out of water. He's been away from civilization for over 15 years. He's still kind of settling, kind of trying to find his way to bridge the gap between his old life and his old life and his newer old life, kind of maybe making them go together where he's still like this rich industrialist playboy. His parents died, but he's also the immortal Iron Fist, the protector of Kunlun, the sworn enemy of the Hand. He has to defeat the Hand, and like he's fighting all of that together, right? And then so couple that with he doesn't know what to do. He has no guidance. He only knows what he's been indoctrinated with, and that's what he's supposed to. He's supposed to defeat the Hand. So if he's being this dogmatic about it, I understand him being really hot-headed. He's young, impulsive. He's got this power. Right. And he's trying to find himself. So I get all that.
Yeah, I get that too.
Yeah, and then he runs across a Luke Cage. He runs across a Daredevil that's like trying to tell him like, hey, dude, I've run across these dudes before. I've been at this longer than you. You need to chill out. You need to think and not just react all the time. Just like when Luke told him, like, basically checked him on his white privilege. Like, dude, you have more power coming out the womb than I'll ever have. Mm-hmm. Just by virtue of what you are. And it got Danny thinking, saying like, I may have been approaching this from the wrong aspect. I need to start using all the tools at my disposal. And he did. And I thought that was really great. Right. I thought that was really great.
Yeah, and that's, like I said, that's Danny Rand right there.
Right.
So, and I get what you're saying. I get how, he's this tormented soul or whatever, blah, blah, blah. And you would think in that whole month span that he was trying to find Kunlun, that you think he would change his perspective on things, but, that didn't happen so much. I mean, there was times that he chilled the fuck out, but there was times he just turned up and just went nuts.
Right. Now, as far as the hero characters, let's get to them, and then we'll get to actually, no, let's just talk about the cast and how they all performed. Who did you guys think was the best performance in this? I could talk about Sigourney Weaver. She was fantastic as Alexandra. I thought she was really great. I was really impressed with, of course, Charlie Cox as Matt Murdock, Daredevil. He was great. I really loved Jessica Jones, and I'm not a big Kristen Ritter fan, but I thought she did really good.
Yeah, she did exceptionally well.
I thought she did really good.
Another thing before you say, I think they kind of played her on her powers through her show, and until that one part when she did with the elevator, I was like, finally, she's just as strong as Luke Cage. Why don't they show that she's just as strong? They be downplaying her abilities, but she did a great job on playing Jessica Jones. Like, me personally, I think Daredevil was that guy. He was conflicted. That to me, that's
Daredevil.
He was
super conflicted, man. It was like
super conflicted.
You could tell it was like he was struggling mightily to say, hey, I don't want to lose my friends, and I don't want. I've lost so much already. I don't want to lose anymore. Until he was like, you know what, I gotta accept this is who I am, and if they can't accept that, then so be it. And I'm like, finally, finally, So who else
are they going to get rid of? What the hell's that woman's name that was in Daredevil that was working for his firm for a bit? And
Karen Page.
Karen?
Is that
going to get rid of her?
Comics?
She's in the comics.
She's dead.
Well,
she's dead in the comics.
Well, they need to kill her off in this series because she just seemed like she's a waste. A waste of spirit. Oh my gosh, I can't believe he's going back into this whole thing. I was trying to stop him, but I'm like, shut up! Right? I realize you care for this guy.
Yeah, but she plays an important role though too.
And it's like I get it, but just the way they wrote her in the Defenders, it just seems counterintuitive to everything. And you already got, is it Foggy or Froggy? I always get that mixed up. Foggy. You already got him.
And you let them. You let them call you fuck? When Luke hit him with that, I was funny.
Okay, that's hilarious.
Yeah. He was like,
you have him. It's kind of like, okay, I care for this guy. I don't really know to do what he needs to do, but I'm going to support him. And then you just got her. And I'm just like, you got two of the same. They're like the same type of character. You don't need both of them. You can have one person says, go out and do this. Another one, go out and don't do this. But you can't have both of them being the exact same style character. It's just like
you got to understand though too. Karen played an important role in Daredevil's life, as well as Foggy later in the comics. So if she dies, like if she is gonna die or not, I don't know. That's gonna put Daredevil down a spiral like crazy.
I don't know. Our brother Hannah Omega said that Karen Page was the weak one in Daredevil. and her plot went nowhere. And I agree with that completely. He also thinks maybe she'll be more useful in Punisher, but will she be in Punisher?
Yes. She's confirmed to be a co-star in the Punisher, yes.
Oh, I can't wait for November.
Okay, so I want to say something. Let's get the cat out of the bag. Misty Knight was fucking awesome.
Yo, Simone Missick, man. She's my crush, dude. Yeah, she's so fine. She's so fine. Hey,
Simone Missick. Hand of Omega also thinks that Misty Knight and Colleen Wing should get together, make their own.
Now, if there's one character, well, okay, let's talk about the characters that kind of, I don't want to say didn't get their shine, or some people feel like they didn't get enough shine. Colleen Wing would be one of them. I didn't necessarily like the way they the way she was such a badass in Iron Fist. She damn near stole that show from him, and then she's relegated to second place almost this entire series. So a lot of people that loved Colleen Wing are probably going to be mad at the Defenders for how they played her.
Yeah,
Misty was dope.
Yeah, she was annoying. Yeah, she got annoying. Colleen Wing got annoying.
Yeah, she did. But Misty was dope. Misty was really dope. From the standpoint that she was kind of trying to. She was like condoning vigilantism, but not at the same time.
Not really, right?
But not at the same time. She was kind of playing both sides, and then but she was still going to do the right thing no matter what, because she was kind of pushing Luke in that direction, saying, "Hey, look, brother, you need to step up, and you need to be this hero that the city needs. You can really do things that I can't do, and because you have these powers, you need to be that." For all these young black kids, they need to see a strong black man that walks on the right side of life and tell them that there is a different way. And that's really the message that Luke Cage sends to all those kids in Harlem, or these young black kids in Harlem, and saying that stand up strong, do the right thing, no matter what, even if it hurts you in the end, do the right thing and just be who you're supposed to be. I heard some people were saying that Luke Cage was corny in the Defenders, and I'm just like,
saying he was corny in the original one, though.
But see, that's the thing I've always had with people that characterize being good as being corny. It's like, so because this dude wants to rock the right path in life, you're automatically going to characterize him as corny because what does that reflect poorly on you that you choose not to be? Walk that straight and do that good thing. I don't know. You help me out there, Super Nerd.
Listen. I'm a good dude, stand up guy. I'm corny as shit. I don't give a shit. I know I'm corny as hell, but I will kick your ass. I think that's what people was waiting on. They was like, he's corny, whatever, but they want to like kick ass. Well, he did kick ass.
He did.
I mean, the dude he was whooping ass. Now he didn't get as much shine as he did. I did see him, there and there, but I think they gave Daredevil and Iron Fist a little bit more shine. Because I felt like Jessica Jones and Luke Cage were like on the back burner a little bit, and they gave them more shine. But it is what it is. But like I said, Luke Cage played his role. He played his part. Him being corny, that's like you said. He said in his own show he was corny. Who cares? But he's still one of my favorite characters that I like from the comics and whatnot.
Now, Hand of Omega saying Luke Cage is cool, but his "I'm not a hero" thing, which he kind of stuck to at the beginning, saying that whole "I'm not a hero" thing. I think towards the end of Defenders, I think he pretty much accepts who he is and what he is now. He is a hero, but he's not going to be just the hero. He's going to make. I think I'm willing to see. I want to see where they're going to go with how he's going to transition into being the hero for hire type thing. I would love to see where that's going to go. Now,
I think he's going to change his mind after that.
Okay. Yeah. So
I think it's gonna change.
So let's talk about now that we've talked a little bit about how Defenders was. We liked it. We liked what characters and the actors that played it. Let's talk about a little bit of villain. The only person we didn't talk about was Elektra. Now Elektra was
cold
badass, dude. She was badass, dude. She was whooping everybody's tail. I mean, and I want to say everybody. Some people, if you haven't seen the Defenders yet, I'm sorry if this is a little bit of spoiler alert. She handled Luke Cage like he was a sack of potatoes, dude. Like
which I didn't quite get. Dude, I didn't understand that.
Okay,
because I understand pressure points for people, but like if his skin is bulletproof, you can't pressure point a bulletproof. Now I understand the leverage of being able to throw him around or whatnot, but it was the point where I think she punched him in the throat and he freaking like I'm like, wait, what?
I never saw her punch him in the throat. I saw her kick him, and he went flying
or
back.
kick him or something of the sort. I didn't quite understand if this guy can survive a rocket launcher to the chest, how a kick is gonna freaking affect him.
Well,
anyway.
let's be fair. Now the rocket launcher was fired from a distance, and it hit the building. It didn't hit him.
It's a rocket launcher.
Yeah, but no, I get you. The force that doesn't mean that he can't be or flown back or anything like that. She is still a martial artist. She's the preeminent martial artist. She's like one of the best in the world ever. Like even in the comic books, she would not flinch at superpowered heroes. She'd still take them down. So and she was for the most part still a normal human. She was just at peak human physique. So she's literally being
peak human physique against a Mack truck. I'm gonna see what happened. I don't give a shit.
Do I need to start bringing up the Batman rule?
You put a Mack truck versus Bruce Wayne, Bruce Lee, any Bruce on this planet, that Mack truck is gonna turn you into mush.
So everybody in the chat is saying like after she got the substance, she gained some super abilities.
Maybe
do you agree?
Maybe, but I mean that was never explained.
Right.
I mean, but at the same time, I don't know. I still think that she just on her own. This was really Elektra at her best. This was Elektra without any gloves on, any pretense of having gloves on. Like she fully embraced that darker side of herself. Even and I love the journey that she was on. Like when she went from being just and I hate this is kind of getting into spoiler territory a little bit, but just her journey that she took from kind of having the amnesia after she was resurrected to kind of finding her way back a little bit here and there, and kind of like subverting the Hand's plans for her. I did really like that as well. I thought Elodie Young did really great, and I would love to see more of her, but I don't know if we will after the way things ended. But I think the possibility is still there for her to come back at some point,
right?
Possibly.
No, my guy was Stick. When that scene, listen, that scene when he was handcuffed, I was not expecting him to do that.
Yeah, man.
I said,
without flinching.
Without flinching, like no pain. Like, okay, that's what's up. It's time, and he about to go in.
He's like, I got to do what I got to do.
Exactly. So I thought that was cool. So Stick was a memorable person in the show that I liked a lot.
Now, how do we like the Five Fingers of the Hand? How do we like them? Madame Gao was still freaking Madame Gao. She was awesome to me. She was awesome to me.
She was dope.
Yeah.
I liked her, but at the same time, because the actress just seems so freaking frail. And I guess that's the whole thing, that you're supposed to look at this woman and seem like she's freaking frail. I just wanted to understand, you had 5 fingers of the hand. You had 3 of them that looked young as shit. And 2 of them, one that's middle age and one that looked old as shit. And they all had that substance, because apparently they're all old as shit. I'm talking about like 700-800 years old maybe. So I just didn't understand. I mean, again, I understand that you got the actors, and they're different ages in real life, but I didn't understand how you got one old ass looking lady,
even in the comic
middle
books,
aged looking lady, and 3 young dudes.
Even in the comic books, there's always some kind of person with a hand that's either young or old or super old. I mean, that's just.
I think what you're forgetting too, Dido, is that perhaps what you're overlooking is that when they left Kunlun, that they were all had a disparity in ages even then. Like,
oh really?
Yeah.
Okay. I mean, I guess I could understand that. Like, Madame Gao must have been an old ass woman when she was in Kunlun then.
Right. Which is very possible. And she's
because I don't think the substance cures your age. It just freezes it for the
for a time.
She's already for a time, right?
Yeah. All right. Okay. Yeah. Thank you for explaining that, because I was just kind of like, I don't, what the hell is going on here? Because I don't quite understand. You got 5 different people, and they.
So
right.
I want to talk about something real quick.
Yeah, go ahead.
So we had a friend of ours say that he felt the hand was easily beaten.
Bruh, man.
So, what do you guys think about that?
Let me tell you. I don't know. Yeah, let me say this now. we had one of our discussion group members. I had a discussion with him earlier today, and his gripe with the Defenders was that he thought the Hand was defeated too easily, that they were beaten by a bunch of amateurs.
Amateurs. Who the hell is amateur? You got Daredevil, man. He got a costume. So
amateur.
If you got a costume, you ain't an amateur no more. Do you think LeBron James is an amateur? He got a freaking jersey. He's a freaking pro. You got a jersey on, you're a pro.
He called Luke Cage an amateur. He called Jessica Jones an amateur. He called the Iron Fist, who's been trained from a young age in martial arts, an amateur. He called Daredevil, who's been made a name for himself in the Hell's Kitchen as a public superhero for at least a couple years, an amateur. He also dared to say that they had no training.
What?
They had no training.
It ain't no danger rooms. I mean,
right. They had no training.
Stick trained freaking Daredevil. Kung Long Masters trained Iron Fist. You got somebody who's just impervious, so it's kind of hard to have to train him. And I don't know what Jessica Jones have, but the one thing that they had over the Hand is, if you watch this show, the Hand were fighting amongst themselves, and therefore they weren't as strong together. But you had the other people who had one thing that they wanted to protect, or a lot of things, or millions of things. They had the people of New York City that brought them together, that put them as one to protect that. So that's going to make it stronger when you got people fighting amongst themselves. Come on now. If you watch the show, you know what happened to Alexandria. I'm not going to go there because it's a little bit spoiler, even though I think everybody who is watching right now have seen the show.
Yeah, but I think our problem, mine and Super Nerds, is how could you possibly think they're amateurs? How could you possibly think they don't have any training? Excuse me? Were you not? Okay, let's forget all that, okay? As ridiculous as all that is, let's address the problem at hand. He thought that they were defeated too easily, okay? Did the Defenders ever at one point in any episode before the end gain a clear-cut victory over them? I mean,
they got their asses whooped.
They got their asses whooped almost the entire show. You had Luke Cage get beat. You had Daredevil get beat. You had Iron Fist getting beaten too. Elektra was whooping their asses left and right the entire show. Yeah, Luke happened to defeat one of the Fingers in the Hand and bring him, capture him and bring him on. Okay, fine. That's one thing. But every defeat that they had against every victory that they had against the Hand had some kind of a consequence. Okay, they took one guy, they lost a guy. Remember, I don't know. I'm not going to say who was, in case there's people out there that still haven't seen the Defenders or haven't seen that episode. But the heroes had a loss on their side as well. They go into the final showdown. They're facing the remaining four Fingers in the Hand, I think. Oh no. One Finger of the Hand was killed in, as Dido alluded to, is spoilerific circumstances. I don't want to devote that, but let's say that at the end of the show, they ended up facing the remaining 3 Fingers of the Hand, and all the while that's going on, their side still takes losses. I mean, one Finger of the Hand gets killed in an accident. Another finger gets killed not by one of them, but even when he does end up getting killed, it's at a great cost to one character that we've been waiting for this to happen to them for a long time. Go ahead, Super Nerd.
So my thing is, even if you read the comic books, Daredevil became the leader of the Hand at some point in his life.
Which I don't get.
He probably was. I'm sure he probably just. I don't know how he beat him. I just read up on certain things. I don't know. I didn't read the whole books, but I just know he became the leader. But my thing is he probably beat that faction. There's a whole bunch of different factions of the Hand. There's a whole bunch of them. He slowed them down. And then Defenders, they slowed them down, crippled their operation. I'm sure there's gonna be more of them. Same thing with Hydra. Shield and Avengers stopped Hydra before they then came back. So it's not like you beating them easily. They're gonna come back, and they even said they're gonna come back. They may have slowed them down, but I guarantee you down the road they're gonna be back. So just because you did this, you think you did it easily, that's not gonna stop them from coming back.
Right. The Hand will come back. I mean, they're an ancient organization. They're an ancient organization. They are going to come back in some way, shape, or form. We don't know how it's going to be, but I totally believe that they're going to come back. Totally.
Absolutely.
There is one thing though I've been hearing around with a lot of reviewers from famous websites that say that the Hand is the weakest enemy that Marvel has put out.
How?
And I'm not really too sure. It's just mainly because they don't. I'd assume they don't think they're threatening enough, or
what's threatening enough? Like being they are terrorists.
Yeah, exactly.
Underground terrorists. Like what are you talking about? That's people who don't read, and that's another thing too. People who don't read comic books, shut the fuck up. Sorry. I mean, their opinion only
let's
matters
not be elitist now. Come on.
Okay, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. A thousand apologies.
Let's not be elitist.
At the same time, it's like have an open mind. Think about it. They are a hardcore. They've been hardcore for years. Even in the comic books, hardcore for years. They will not stop. Just because you did what you did in this show, they're gonna come back. So for you to say they were not, they weren't a threat. They were a threat. They can fucking take down anybody. They really wanted to, and they was cool with Hydra.
Yeah.
So
hey, man, I don't know what some people are smoking about. Whether, the Defenders were amateurs or whether the Hand was just defeated too easily. I mean, I guess this person didn't want the heroes to win at all. Like, I guess the heroes weren't supposed to prevail or something like that. I don't know. Beats me. I mean, it seemed to me at the end of the show that they kind of suffered a catastrophic loss to their lives. And, they were down 2 men. They lost a great... I don't want to say it because I'm getting I'm getting close to spoiler territory. But let's just say, like, coming up next, I think the Defenders did a really good job. I think it sets up the next seasons for all of the Netflix shows. Mm-hmm. It's put them on nice new paths. Especially, I think a lot of people are going to be really happy with the way Iron Fist has responded to the end of
that end part. Oh my god, that end scene. If you watched Defenders at the end scene, season episode 8, and if you read the comic books and know what Iron Fist did in the comic books, it's amazing. And also,
I have no idea what that is.
I'll tell you later.
Yeah.
And also, what happened to Misty Knight too? They didn't have to do that, but they did that.
I wasn't expecting it. I wasn't expecting either. But
they teased it in Luke Cage, but they finally did it. So for them to say, okay, we're gonna go this route, like you said, it could go the route. I'm not gonna say it because I'm gonna say it. It can go Stark route or it can go Danny Rand's route with his.
I think it'll still go the Stark route, in my opinion.
I think it's gonna Stark route. So that's a connection right there.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, that's something I thought they did was great.
Because of where she ended up at the end of the show, I think this might, and because of the way things happened for her at the end of Defenders, I think this is going to make the transition for her from being on Luke Cage to being a principal character on Iron Fist show now. That's just my opinion.
You know what I think is going to happen?
Mm-hmm.
I think Luke Cage season 2 is going to be essentially a Heroes for Hire.
Mm-hmm.
I hope so. I really do hope
that's
so.
What's going to happen.
Because in my honest opinion, don't do an Iron Fist season 2. Just roll.
It's already confirmed, man. It's already confirmed.
It's already confirmed, but I'm saying I think it's gonna be more of a Heroes for Hire thing. They have no choice to do a straight up Heroes for Hire. But they need to add my man, what's his name, Shang-Chi?
Shang-Chi? Yeah, that would be nice. Yeah. That would be really dope if they bring Shang-Chi in. I ain't gonna front. That's gonna be really nice. So anyway, guys, you guys hear the music. It's time to cut out of here. We had a really good show. It's about 10 o'clock. Later this week, we're going to be doing the Anime Club over there on Twitch. So if you haven't joined or followed us on Twitch yet, please head over there to Twitch TV /Culture Junkies and find us there. We're going to put up the choices tomorrow around 8 o'clock p.m. So make sure you join us tomorrow in our discussion group and follow us on YouTube as well. Watch the replay of this show once it's over. So guys, what you got going on this weekend? I know Terminator 2 3D is getting ready to come out on Friday. You gonna go see it?
Oh,
no.
I'm not a big fan of 3D, man. But it'd be cool to see it.
Specifically, if it wasn't meant to be there.
Specifically, it wasn't meant to be there. I guess I can understand that. I get it. Okay. So anyway, guys, for Super Nerd Plus and for the great Adakuji, I'm Kishiro. We'll see you guys next week, Tuesday, right here, 9 p.m. Eastern Time, 8 p.m. Central. We hope you guys have a great week. We'll see you guys later. What the hell are you doing over there, man?
Take care, everybody.
It's the music. It's the music.
It's the music. Oh, okay. I'll take your word for it.
Hey.